Hello Gemini, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. How are you, Gemmies? Thank you so much for clicking here. Got a couple of Oracle decks, not Oracle, but we've got Lenormand Revelry, and we've got the Kipper deck, and we're going to use these two. We're going to get the overall energy for the week. We're going to throw some tarot into it, see what we come up with for the week ahead for you, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. If you've never been here before, welcome. I do this reading every week. We do a Gemini reading every week. And if you are the ride or die and you are back anyway, thanks for that. Thanks for your thumbs up. I appreciate you putting me back into the algorithm to find more Geminis. At the end of this reading, I'm going to tell you about the extended if you're interested in that and how to get a private read. All right, let's find out what is going on for you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. All right. It's a roll of the dice, huh? That's what it feels like here. There is something here that is showing up in divine timing for you. It feels like there is about to be some sort of a shift, is what it feels like. We've got the lady in waiting, and she's waiting by the window. It's like you're waiting for something to show up. You're waiting. It's like you're not yet out of the old cycle, but you're not yet in the new cycle, Gemini, is what it feels like. It feels like you're in the middle or in the midst of something that you're waiting for. I feel like this is a very vulnerable time for you, but it also feels like this is a time for you to enjoy, I'm going to say, new things that are happening. I feel like with the stork present here, the stork always brings new things into your view, things that you didn't look at before. And we've got the clocks, right? Which to me is like divine timing. Card number 37 is a 10, and it's like the Wheel of Fortune for me. 10 is the number of the Wheel of Fortune, and of course it breaks down to a 1, which is the beginning of something. So I think that you've been sort of feeling like maybe you're in a bit of stagnant energy here, Gemini, and you're just waiting for the shift. You're waiting, maybe for some of you, you could be waiting to move with the storks present here, but I think there's something new coming into your view. So maybe you're buying a new house or you're moving to a new job. But it feels like with the wheel being here with this tick-tock is what it is. The clocks are telling us that all things happen in divine timing. It feels like you're open. You're ready to roll the dice and ready to be open to whatever the universe is going to bring for you here. Taking a chance on something as well, taking a chance on divine timing, sort of looking at the universe and saying, I trust you, bring me what is mine. Let's find out what the Kipper has to say here. Tell me about Gemini. Yeah, there is change in the air here. You might be changing communities. You know what? This is wild. I'm pretty sure this has been happening for all the readings that I've been doing air signs. The air sign collective is at it. Look at this. Got 3939. I think that in Libra's reading, it might have shown up as 1818, but I do know for sure the moon showed up twice. 18s and 3s and 4s showed up in Aquarius reading. So we've got 3939. That's pretty wild. So it looks like there is something that is coming that is brand new. Somebody here is about to roll the dice, and it could be on a person. It feels like two people are waiting on something. They're waiting on each other. Maybe one is waiting for the other one to take a step forward, and we're waiting for divine timing. It could be that somebody here is moving, because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at change. So somebody could be moving into a new community because of sudden wealth. So maybe somebody gave you a down payment, or you won some money, or maybe it's a house that is within the family. Somebody's saying the next family that our family home goes to is you. It feels like there is about to be a change. For some of you, it could be change and movement. For others of you, I feel like you are moving out of possibly a place where you've been working for a while and opening your own business. We do have somebody here with the occupation. The occupation is what you choose to do. And so the change that's coming here, I feel you're at the nines here. So there's something here that's about to change. We've got 9, 9, 9, and 9. Yeah, we've got things that are ready to move into new, more stable cycles. 39s. What comes after 39 is 40. And so 4s, right? Stability. I think the universe is cooking something up. I feel like you think that you're not going to get it, but I think that it's showing up. The mature woman is here. I think you have wisdom enough to know up till now that the universe has taken care of you up till now, Gemini. So whether you're the woman or the man or the feminine or the masculine, it does feel like somebody here is possibly quitting their job to start a business, or you're quitting your job because you're moving into a different community. You're rolling the dice and doing something different than you ever used to do, but maybe you need to wait for divine timing to show up first. Let's find out what else is going on with the tarot. Tell me about Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Seven of Cups. We've got the Fool. Yeah, something is about to go down here. We've got the Five of Wands. We've got the High Priestess. And the Queen of Swords. We've got the Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. It does feel like you're about to roll the dice on something here because the Fool is here, and it is the trust fall. When I see this one here, it's not necessarily a leap, but it is a trust fall. She's got an amethyst in her hand, right? She's got an amethyst, and this is what we use for protection, right? For protection and healing. And so I feel like with this amethyst here, that it feels like you're about to take some sort of a trust fall, but you're waiting for the Wheel of Fortune. You're waiting for the Wheel of Fortune, or you're waiting for divine timing when you know that you're safe to roll the dice. You've got the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. I'm going to say don't move too quickly. Don't make a fast move or a quick move or a risk. I'm going to say it's something that you need to think out, or you could end up in some sort of lack, or you could end up with a financial impact of some sort. I think that's why the Wheel of Fortune is here, why the clocks are here waiting for divine timing. I think you're supposed to wait until the universe gives you the go. Tell me more about this. So something's about to shift. Let's find out what is shifting here, because there's many ways in which this can shift. We do have the Seven of Cups and the Fool. So it tells me that you have a lot of opportunities. It's like you've been given a bunch of opportunities to go whatever way you want to go. Divine timing is showing up, and you've got to take the trust fall. You've got to trust yourself, trust your intuition, take a chance on something, but you're being given a lot of options. And I feel like you're being asked to use your intuition, Gemini. Use your intuition to go in the right direction. Be honest with yourself. What do you really want? What is it that you really want? What is competing with your heart energy? Tell me about this. Tell me what's coming up in divine timing, please. Tell me about the clocks and the Fool, please. We've got the King of Cups. We've got the Queen of Wands. And we've got the Judgment card. Very interesting. So I'm going to say that this energy is saying to me, keep it under the surface. Don't tell everybody what you're getting up to. Don't share your plans. Don't tell people what's going on. I feel like this is something that really has settled into your heart space. I feel like it's something that means a lot to you, like emotionally means a lot to you. I feel like you're about to make a bold move or take some sort of a risk, right? And we can see that we're rolling the dice. The Judgment card is here. I'm going to say that that divine timing is bringing something back around to you, Gemini, that you chose not to look at, not to take a risk on, or not to do when it came around last time. Whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. You can't outrun your destiny, and I think Judgment is proof of that. I think that Judgment sends you on the path, and then whatever you find along the path, you get to choose what to keep and what not to keep. And I feel like the Judgment card is here saying, go ahead, make the bold move, because I am putting this thing back in your path, and maybe you'll see it this time. Maybe this is the time when you will take the trust fall. But be honest with yourself. What is it that you're truly waiting for? Because I feel like you have a lot of opportunities, and you're being asked to look into your intuition to make sure that you're being super honest with yourself and others about what it is that you really do want. Tell me what the woman is waiting for here. We have the Five of Swords. Somebody is arguing with themselves about what it is. What is it really that I'm waiting for? We've got the Six of Wands. And the Sun. Somebody here is waiting for the moment to shift. Waiting for the shift. We got the Sun here. We got the Sun with the storks here. You know that something new is showing up and you're waiting for the shift or the breakthrough. You're waiting for the universe to tell you that it's go time. That's what the woman is waiting for. And so we have, we could be talking about someone who's in a woman's body, whether you're masculine or feminine, I don't know. But it feels like somebody here has been waiting on the right time to do something. And it sort of has one ear up to the universe saying, tell me when. Tell me when it's go time. The Six of Wands is I want the success. I want the victory. And I'm going to do it. I'm brave enough to go and get it. But you need to tell me or give me an indication about when it's time. Because I feel like you're sitting here fighting with yourself, Gemini, about why don't I know when it's the right time? Why don't I know the decision? When we can't make a decision or we can't come to a place in our mind where we're, let's just say you've been given two possible ways that you can go and take a vacation. You can go to Cabo or you can go to Australia. Those are two very different places. And I feel like you're kind of going back and forth and saying, well, I'll make a list for this one. I'll make a list for that one. And yeah, I would love to see Sydney. I want to see kangaroos, but I kind of want to lay on the beach. Like, I feel like you're going back and forth and you're like weighing things back and forth, but I feel like it's not your job to do that. I think you're supposed to wait for the shift. When it shifts, you'll know, and you'll be very confident in your decision-making process because the High Priestess is here. And although there's a bunch of clutter or emotional clutter going on, a lot of moving parts or you feeling like you can't land on something or make a decision, I think your intuition is going to be sharp enough to tell you when it's time to go and which way to go. You are going to end up with your heart's desire. I feel like in the end, you end up with your heart's desire. What is this occupation about? I think I'm supposed to talk to somebody about their job. So I'm going to talk about this. Somebody's changing occupations here. And it might be because for some of you could be retiring. We do have the mature woman here. But it feels like somebody is leaving or changing their occupation. Tell me what this is about here. We've got the Six of Cups. I feel like you've been doing what you're doing for a dog's age. It feels like you've been there for a very long time. And you've made a lot of really close friends here. Friends or people who feel like family. I feel like you've made a lot of money here. It's time for you to make a decision based on what you know, or I think it's always been your dream to move forward and make a legacy for your family. And I think that this occupation is something that is like a spiritual occupation. I think somebody here is probably a reader or a psychic or an intuitive of some sort that is going to make money using what you know. What you know is you've brought it in from other lives. I think that is what is going to make you money here. And I think this is something that you're going to do on your own. So we've got the occupation. The lady is there and she's sewing by herself. She's got the light up in the corner here, which tells me that she has knowledge or she has some sort of intuitive business. And so I feel like you are probably moving into an intuitive business, and the Empress being here saying it's going to be successful and abundant. You are birthing this. You are the one that has to move forward and birth this. Look, for some of you, that's what the TikTok is about here. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for TikTok. When are we going to do it? When you're ready. It feels like, I didn't start this business till I was 50, right? So maybe it's something that keeps coming up, and you keep ignoring it because you didn't have the ability to take a risk, or you felt it was too risky, or you didn't really, you hadn't grown into the Queen of Wands energy who's comfortable with making a bold move. It feels like that sort of thing here. Tell me about the High Priestess. What's your intuition telling you here? What is your intuition telling you, Gemini? What are you supposed to do? We've got the Ten of Cups. We've got the Eight of Cups. And we've got the Four of Swords. I think you're comfortable in a place that makes you quite happy, but I also feel like it's time you realize that you've come to the end of a cycle here. And although you may be happy where you are, I feel like you realize you've come to the end of this cycle, which is the 10 of Cups. And so with the 8 of Cups here, I feel like it's time for you to walk away from something and go find what your true happiness is here. Because with 8 of Cups, usually it's somebody who's walking into the sunset. And so I feel like it's time for you to do something that gives you more stability in your life. And what I mean by that is maybe you're in a job right now that you've been in forever, 20 years, and you've been punching the clock, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I feel like it's time for you to have more freedom, more mental freedom, more emotional freedom, and it feels like there is a cycle that is coming to an end and you feel it. It's something you've been silent about, but I think that you feel like there's really nothing more I can do here. I've hit the glass ceiling or the emotional ceiling. There's really nothing more I can do here. I've got to be honest with myself that I really do need change. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. Yeah, because there's another opportunity that I feel that you are very excited about, makes you feel very excited to take this opportunity. But first, you have to stop feeling under pressure to stay where you are. I feel like you feel under pressure to stay where you are, but you're exhausted. I feel like you've been there a long time and it feels like Groundhog Day, just going over and over and over again. I feel what you're looking for is excitement, a spark. You're moving to a new community, or you're moving to a new workplace, or you're starting your own business. There's change, regardless of what's going on here. There's change because this is what changes. But I think it's because the sun is out. Now you're ready. Now you've grown, right? You've grown up. The King of Cups is like mature. It's maturation, right? It's being very mature in your emotional state, very mature about taking responsible leaps of faith or making bold moves. And now you're ready with the Judgment card. You're ready to take the trust fall. Now you trust yourself enough to take the fall. We've got the World card here. Something here is ending, but I don't feel like it feels as though you're slamming a door. I feel it almost feels like an exhale, that you have finally come to a place here where you're achieving something or you've hit a milestone. Because I feel like it's been a hard road. It feels like it's been a hard road, and since the inception of something here with the Page of Cups, since the inception, I feel like you've been using your intuition to try and know when the right time was to make your decision to go. Because deciding to go, to leave wherever you are now, whatever it is, the job, the relationship, the friendship, the family, the neighborhood, whatever it is, wherever you are right now is such a comfort zone, and you know that people around you are going to try and make you stay, and that's why you're keeping it really quiet before you take the trust fall. So I feel like we're going to talk a little bit more about this. What is ending? We'll talk about that. What is coming to an end? And I feel like it's breaking your heart that it's coming to an end, but it is time for you to move on to the next cycle. We do have a new moon. If I didn't say it already, we have a new moon starting on the 24th, and I think it's in Leo, but yeah, it's a new moon. A new door is ready to open, and I think you're ready to step through, Gemini. I'm going to go into the extended, and I'm going to talk more about this. We're going to clarify more of it, get more information, find out what the changes are. We haven't even looked into the Knight of Cups here. What is going to make your heart space happy? It feels like you're going to a new home, because these storks, they come back to the same home every year. They return back to the nest. So I feel like you're returning back to, or coming back to yourself, or it feels like you're coming alive finally, because you're in this age in your life here where you've got enough mature energy that you know what to do, or you feel comfortable taking a trust fall and listening to your intuition. If you would like to be in the extended with us, please look in the pinned comment at the very top of the comments, at the very below the video. You will see that there are a few links there. One is if you want to purchase this extended and you're not interested in coming into the membership area, please take a look. There is a link there. You can click to purchase this by itself. And if you are interested in coming into the membership area, please go ahead and do that. There's a link there. Also, my link for Hypsee is there. If you're interested in a private read, I do have sales on right now. My live readings are on sale between 5 and 75% off. You merely get a discount, 20% discount just for booking in advance if you're interested in doing that. Thank you so much for all of those of you who took advantage of the last 20 days. I did have a 10% off on the pre-recorded readings. I gave you a lot of you readings, and thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate you. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back, because I am always back. I'll be in the extended if that's where you are. And if this is where we part, that's okay too, because I'll be back. Love you guys. Bye-bye.